Mr. S.R. Tulasi, Mr. Pradeep Dhoble, Mr. Chitranjan Dar, Mr. Sanjay Singh, Dr. V. Barla, Mr. A.V. Rao, Mr. Joga Rao, Bhadrachalam Silvers and family members, and invitees. A very good morning to all of you. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to introduce to you our eminent speaker today, Mr. S.R. Tulasi. I have been requested by our speaker, whom you all know very well, not to give an elaborate intro about him. So I'm going to make it really very short. A glorious stint at ITC PSPD from technical to human resources, and a global exposure too. Post-retirement, Mr. Tulsi pursued his MA in Telugu, MBA in finance, and submitted his thesis for PhD. He was the executive director of Vishisht and a non-executive director of ITC Kakatiya Hotel. He taught MBA students in Vijnana Jyoti and Gitam management schools. Mr. Tulsi is an excellent orator, and we are fortunate to listen to him today on one of his favorite topics, Who Moved My Cheese? A book by Dr. Spencer Johnson, which highlights an amazing way to deal with change in your work and in your life. Over to you, sir. I hope this was short enough.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not short. Okay. Friends, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I must tell you, last week when Dr. Barla spoke about I am okay, you're okay, I was motivated. I should talk about Who Moved My Cheese. I got introduced to this book when I was at Bhadrachalam, because this book is about 20 years old. To be precise, it was written in 1998. The author is not a management expert. He is a physician. He is an MD. He is a doctor by profession. Obviously had good experience studying people and wrote his book. He wrote some more books, 1 Minute Manager, like that. This book has been sold. It has been translated into some 30 languages, and something like 25 million copies have been sold. So therefore, it is a popular book. But surprisingly, the book is very small. It is just about 50 pages. Even the story is simple. At the end of the day, when I share with you the book, most of you would think, oh, I knew this. What is so new about this? The interesting thing is, you must introspect. You think more and more about the book, we realize we exhibit the characteristics, the roles in the book exhibit. This book is actually a combination of two stories. The main story will come later, which I will display in a PowerPoint presentation. The first story is about reunion of old college students, people who studied together. They had a reunion. Could be 10 people, 15 people. They had a nice dinner, and then they started discussing, sharing their own experiences in the past, say 10 years or 15 years. And most of them say, this is what has happened, this is what happened, I did this, I am doing this, etc. One of them, who inherited a family business, who had a successful run of his business, shares, we need to change. I have realized nothing remains constant. Constantly change happens. So therefore, what is applicable today will not be applicable tomorrow. We need to change. They get surprised. Why do you say so? He says, my competitor has changed. I didn't realize. I had to change. But I had to learn this lesson in a better way. And then he says, a book changed my life. What is that book? Who Moved My Cheese? So his friends exclaim, interesting. The name of the book itself is interesting. Let us hear about this book. So he goes on explaining about this book. I'm not naturally touching all the 50 pages. I will not, I cannot. But I will abridge the main points without cutting short the story. The story will be retained as it is. Christine, let's begin. Or Surya. Surya, can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you. It's an amazing way to deal with change in your work and your life. Who Moved My Cheese? It is written by Dr. Spencer Johnson. First slide. What is this story about? Change. When I say change, I am reminded a famous quotation attributed to our former Prime Minister, late P.V. Narasimha Rao. I don't know when he said it, but it was said, he mentioned this. All of us are familiar with writing on the wall. P.V. Narasimha Rao said, what is important is not reading the writing on the wall, but reading the writing on the wall before it is written. The talent lies in anticipating, imagining, getting ready to know what is going to be written on the wall. That is change. The first slide, first line. Then 4 characters in this. 2 mice, Sniff and Scurry. 2 little people. They're like real people, but of the size of mice. Hem and Haw. They spend time in a maze, nibbling their cheese. You understand what is a maze? A maze is full of corridors and corners. You get lost once you are inside. They are inside that maze because it contains cheese. The mice like, the little people also like. So they enjoy searching for the cheese and eating the cheese. Next line, please. They had no idea where the cheese came from, who put it there, but they just assumed cheese would always be there. So all these 4 characters, they live nearby. Every morning they come, put on their jogging dress and their shoes, run around, go to the place where the cheese is available, put their shoes away, sit down and eat the cheese. Throughout the day they enjoy the cheese, and in the evening they come back. They are happy because they know where they don't know where the cheese came from, who put it there, but they believe the cheese belongs to them. It is their cheese. Okay, next slide. The little people, they would like to always write their experiences on the wall. They have written, having cheese makes you happy. You are happy because you've got cheese. They write on the wall and they just enjoy. The mice may not do these things, but they do enjoy. Okay, next. One morning, when Sniff and Scurry arrived at the cheese station, they discovered the cheese has disappeared. They were not surprised because they have noticed for the past few days, the cheese was slowly getting reduced. So the fact that the cheese has suddenly disappeared did not surprise them. They were more or less anticipating this position. But what happens to the little people? Next line, please. The mice did not overanalyze things. The problem is simple. Situation is changed. Therefore, Sniff and Scurry decided we need to change. Let us change. Next slide. This is interesting. Explanatory, self-explanatory. Who wants change? Everybody is jumping. Who wants to change? No response. Something else needs to change, but I will not change. Next slide, please. These are the four characters. The Sniff, they anticipate change and update their vision. Scurry, they quickly jump into actions. They like to get things done. So they take action based on a new vision. They may not formulate the vision, but they act quickly. They deny change. They resist out of fear. We are comfortable what we are doing. Why should we change? Change makes no sense to us. And they want to adopt, but they're hesitant. They're hesitant because of influence of people like him. They are open-minded, but if there is something new, they are slow to change and adopt. So, the fact is, all these four characters are not different from us. We have these characteristics at some time or other in our life. Okay, next slide. The story continues. Let us see what happens later. The two little people, next slide, next line, please. The Sniff sniffed, nodded, Scurry took off his running, and Sniff followed as fast as he could. Both the mice have gone in search of cheese. What happens to the little people? Hem and Ha arrived, and their reaction? Hem, what? No cheese. It's not fair. Whom are you complaining? We don't know. But it's not fair. It should not have happened. Next line, please. While Sniff and Scurry have gone quickly, Hem and Ha ranted and raved at the injustice. Ha wrote on the wall, the reason for their unhappiness. Reason is, the more important your cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it. You will not change because you are too much attached to the cheese. You are unwilling to accept this change. This cheese may disappear someday because you are too much attached to it. The more you want to hold on to it, the more important the cheese becomes. Next line, please. They continue to visit the same station. See what happens to mice? They ran away. they went somewhere else. Hem and Ha believed somehow cheese will reappear. Some injustice has been done, it will be corrected. So they continued to visit the same station for many more days with the hope they would somehow find the cheese. Next slide. The complicated brains they have got huge belief systems. They constantly question the injustice done to them. A lot of injustice has been done. Therefore, somebody will correct it. I am not going to change. So I will continue to look for cheese at the same place. Next slide, please. Sniff is this character who will sniff out change quickly. Next slide. Hem is denies change, resists change. He fears it. He fears it because it could be worse. It could be worse than what it is today. Therefore, I don't want to change. This is Hem. Yeah, next. Let us go ahead with this story. Next line. By the way, these two characters have suddenly found Sniff and Scurry are not to be found. Do they know something we don't know? How can they know? They are just mice. We are small people. We have got little brain. They cannot be smart. They cannot know more than what we know. Therefore, they don't believe Sniff and Scurry have found out something which they have not found. Next slide. Hem continued. We are entitled to the cheese. We have got a title. It is ours. Reason? We did not cause the problem. The problem is not caused by us. And therefore, why should we suffer? Somebody else has caused the problem. They should set it right. The arguments were endless. Next slide. Sniff and Scurry, in the meanwhile, found a new cheese station with a great supply of cheese. They are happy. Hem and Ha remained at the same old station with no cheese around, but complaining every day that something is wrong. Next slide. What is it they have complained? I worked hard for it. Why should I change? I didn't cause the problem. And Ha says, it's not fair. Who moved my cheese? Next. Realization dawned on Ha.
Somebody needs to mute. There is a lot of noise in the background. Please mute everybody otherwise.
Surya.
Sir, 1 minute.
Surya.
I'm doing, sir. One minute, sir. Please. I think it's sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm trying to do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is stopped now. It has stopped. Okay. We can go to the next slide.
This is the slide, sir, or you want me to go to
No,
previous
next
slide?
one. Next one.
Okay.
Change. Realization dawned on Ha. What did he think? Next slide. The little people felt cheese could be hidden from them in the same station. We are not able to see it. It is here. Decided to find it. So they came with tools. They started making holes. Fully satisfied, they are making a good progress. Every day they were coming with a tool, with a hammer and a chisel, and went on making holes. They were working. What happens? Next slide. They worked hard. They worked harder. At the end, what all they achieved was a big hole. Ha realized difference between activity and productivity. He realized action need not necessarily lead to productivity. Next line. Somebody has started again.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Give me a time. I'll correct it. 1 minute.
I don't know where is it from.
No, I found that I corrected it. 1 minute.
Okay. Let's go
It's
back.
Lauren Cuban, please keep on mute. You are caught.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You can cut.
Yeah. Difference between activity and productivity. Next slide. Surya, go ahead. Yeah. Ha started laughing. We keep doing the same thing and wonder why things are not getting better. Sometimes things change. They are not the same again. So doing the same thing is not going to yield result. Life moves on. So we should also move on. Next slide. Ha wrote on the wall, if you don't change, you can become extinct. You will become irrelevant. You will get lost. Ha realized he should get out of his comfort zone and adopt change sooner than later. Next line. Hem did not agree. We should just sit here, see what happens. Sooner or later, they will have to put the cheese back. So Hem disagreed with her. I am not going in search of a cheese. They will put it back. Let me remain where I am. Next slide. A different experience for her. Yeah. First line. Ha decided to go alone because Hem is not following him. He realized his mistake. I should have known the cheese was getting extinct. I must have smelled the cheese often to know that it is getting old. I should have observed the cheese that it was getting smaller and smaller. Why did I not do it? And therefore, next line, he decided to go alone. He did not succeed for a long time. His experience is explained in the book in about 20 pages. He does not succeed. Like Sniff and Scurry, he does not immediately find a new cheese station. He goes on exploring. He is afraid he lost his way. But he told himself, instead of sitting where I was sitting, moving in the new direction helps me to find new cheese. He learns a lot. It seemed his progress was 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. It was a challenge, but he has to admit, being back in the maze, hunting for the cheese, is not nearly as frightening as he feared it might be. More often than not, we fear the change. The change will not be that frightening when we undertake the change. This is what Ha realized. Next slide. He reminded himself, I may be uncomfortable, but in reality, this is much better than staying in a cheeseless situation. Here, I'm in control rather than simply letting things happen. Here, I have got hold over what is happening. I am moving myself. I may not be sticking. I may not be succeeding, but I'm in control. This is what Ha felt. Next slide. What would you do if you were not afraid? If you are not afraid, you realize fear is not that frightening. The change is less frightening than what you imagine to be. Next slide. The persistence of hope pays. How does it? Yeah, next slide. Soon located the new chase station, and he spotted Sniff and Scurry. Both of them were there. Next line. But he continued his learnings. He started writing on the wall. He had great learnings. What were they? These are the learnings. Number one, go ahead. Change happens. You cannot avoid. It continues to happen. They will keep moving the cheese. Who is they? We don't know. But they keep moving the cheese. Expect that. Change happens. Next slide. Anticipate change. If you're like Sniffy, if you can sniff, and if you can observe, if you can read, if you can anticipate, you are ready for the cheese to move. It doesn't surprise you because you know it is going to happen. You're ready for it. Anticipate change. Next. Monitor the change. How is the change taking place? At what pace it is happening? Smell the cheese to know that it is getting old. Next line. Adopt to change quickly. Once change is accepted and real, adopt. Please don't think about the old cheese again and again. It is not going to be the same. It is going to be a different ball game. So adopt to the change quickly. Next line, please. Enjoy the change. Don't complain. Savor the adventure. When you are getting into a new game, it could be difficult. It could be more challenging, but start enjoying the adventure. Tell yourself, I am good. I will remain good. I will accept this change and prepare myself for this change. Savor the adventure. Okay, next. While Haas still had a great supply of cheese, he often explored new areas to stay in touch with what was happening around him. He always knew it was safer to be aware of his choices to isolate himself in his comfort zone. Rather than remaining in his comfort zone, be ready to accept change. This is what Hall learned. Next slide. Same handwritings have been repeated here. I will stop here to tell you the inside story has stopped here. That means the story of the two mice, two little people is over. But the old boys who met and started explaining this story meet again, recollect what they have learned from this story. One of them says, you can apply this to a business, you can apply this to your life, you can apply this to your family, you can apply to anything you are comfortable with, because nothing remains constant. Next slide. What is the message? The message is, next line please. Cheese is a metaphor. What you want to have in life. A good job, a loving relationship, good amount of money, or health. You are looking for all these things, but nothing remains same. Next slide. Next line. And the maze is where you are looking for the organization or the family or the community you live in. Next line. Things constantly change. We must adopt. Yes, last. The quicker we adopt, the more satisfied we will be. Next. This is life, love, job, money. Who moved my cheese? We keep wondering. Next slide. Next slide. Here I will narrate a story to take this message. Is this story about mice, or can it be explained with what we go through? I have picked it up from the internet. I read this story, but if you permit me, I will narrate a little experience of my own to reinforce this point. But first, let us read this story. Yeah, this is from the internet. Tim is an author. He was selling books on Amazon. He got paid $5 every time someone bought his book. This was his cheese. He loved his cheese. He sold many books. He got paid because Amazon was paying him. But Amazon made a change to their way of paying authors. They introduced a new program called Kindle, where customers can download his book for free. Now it is not being paid. The catch is the author will get paid only for the amount of pages that the customers read. This has affected the earnings of the author. Tim, next line. Tim didn't like this. His income was dwindling. He got angry with Amazon for taking away his cheese. He sent nasty emails to Amazon why they should give his cheese back. This is improper. It's not right. You have not mentioned this earlier. You have suddenly introduced this change. You have been following a particular system. How can you change the system? He sent nasty emails. Amazon did not bother. Because if this is not the author, somebody else will come. Why should we bother? Next slide. There is another author called Dave. He was also an author, but instead of complaining, he sought a new cheese. How did he choose? Let us see the next slide. Some lessons Dave learned. First lesson, change happens. Change is inevitable. Amazon constantly updates their systems because the customers change their demands. Amazon has to change. Because of customers, I must be ready and willing to realize that Amazon will update the system. I can't complain. That is number one. Number two, anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. Dave was not surprised because Amazon gave him warnings that it is going to change the payment system. They have sent repeated emails. He was ready for this change. Third, monitor change. The cheese often smell it, so you know it is getting old. Dave was able to anticipate change because he kept up with the latest news about Amazon. He read what Amazon was thinking. He paid attention to frequent emails Amazon sent him. So he was ready for this change. The last one, not fourth one. Adopt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of the old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy the new cheese. Dave knew hanging around and complaining will not change Amazon's payment system. So instead, he quickly adopted to the new change. Two more lessons. Next slide. Change, move with the cheese. To adopt the change, Dave thought of ways to boost the sales with the new payment system. Through brainstorming and creative thinking, he came up with several techniques which will encourage the reader to read more pages. The system is what Amazon has introduced. Reader must read more pages in my book. One technique was to combine books that were not selling into what was selling. That way, the reader was likely to read everything. As a result, the sales began to increase again. One more thing he did to change, last line. Enjoy change. Enjoy the taste of new cheese. Dave was happy that his work paid off. His success did not end there. He created an online course to teach people how they can adopt to Amazon's new payment system. It sold like hotcakes. Dave learned that he must move with change. Tim continued to complain and did not change. So what is the learning on the wall? Last. Life moves on. So should we. Spencer Johnson. Here, the PowerPoint presentation is over. Surnarana, you can close it. I will speak for 2 more minutes or 3 more minutes. One example that comes to my mind is this little mobile phone. It changed our lives. 10 years ago, if you remember, there used to be Kodak, Agfa, so many companies who were producing camera reels. There were cameras with these reels. We used to buy these reels, put in the camera, take photographs, go to a studio, develop them, take prints, buy albums, put these photos in our albums and look at them. Today, those camera producers have closed shop. Those camera reels producers have closed shop. Those shops which were developing closed. Thus, albums are not to be seen. What all you get is in this mobile, a digital photo. Is it frightening? Initially it was, but now we have learned there are great many advantages. I can store these pictures in soft copies. I can look at them in my laptop and whatever I want, I can print them in case I am required. But now, beautiful system, WhatsApp, I can send the photographs. I can send to people. Things have changed. When mobile came, people thought it will only be a communication system. But today, it serves even as a torchlight. Morning, when I go for a morning walk, if early in the morning I walk around 5 o'clock, if it is too dark, I use my mobile to look at the road. It's a torchlight. It's a torchlight. It is an alarm. And of course, I can communicate. I can be in touch with people. I can send huge PDF systems. How many services the mobile is giving us? It has changed. I wanted to, in the end, share my personal experience. Permit me to change. I served for about 12 years in steel industry. I left them in '83 to join Bhadrachalam Paper Boards. When I was contemplating to change, some of my friends discouraged me in Bokaro. You are a big fool. This is a public sector undertaking. Safe job. Nothing will happen to you. Nothing will happen to the company because steel will continue to get produced. Whatever may be the price, people will have to buy. There is no competition. Your job is safe. Why should you change? Don't change. I decided I will take up this challenge. Many people told me, you will be joining a private company. They will throw you out overnight. You will be on the roads. I still remember this. One of them said, you will be on the road. I was like, I was a little afraid. But still, I started weighing the advantages, disadvantages. I decided I need to change. And no regrets. No regrets at all. Change. Nothing remains constant. In my 70 years, I have seen enormous changes in this world we live in. So, my advice to you, my friends, is recognize change is inevitable, smell the change. Even before it happens, get ready for change. Adopt and move with the new reality. Thank you. Questions in case. Book is available on Google. You don't have to buy it. You just search it, you will find the book. It is free. You can download it as a PDF version. As I said, 50 pages. The more you read, the more you realize that I am also behaving like this. That is what I have learned. Thank you.
Well, see, we don't need to read the book out now. I mean, many of us would have already read, but your presentation was so succinct. And I'm not talking about the slides. I mean, your oratory, your facial expressions, that convey the meaning far better than reading the book. I really mean it, Many people like A.V. Rao and all now go for audio books, They don't want to read, they want to hear the book, So this was even better. We could see your expressions, gesticulations, which makes the understanding even far better.
Thank you.
So compliments to you for that.
Thank you.
Tulsi.
Thank you.
One comment I want to make for all future speakers who will do a book review or whatever, it'll be great if you can take example nearer home. You did about mobile phone and your experience of leaving steel plant and coming to a paper plant and so on and so forth. But I'm saying even more. Get closer, because the understanding will be far better if you take those examples. I made the same comment to Barla also last time. Maybe a little more thinking on you understand the subject so well. If you apply yourself in this angle, I'm sure you will find examples. So I'll do that part of the work, Tulsi, as my contribution to this presentation. Many of you know the story already, but I'm putting it in the context of who moved my cheese and the change management, in mid-90s, we were producers of the best quality of board and so on and so forth, So we had this white duplex board, varnishable, non-varnishable, two categories. Most of the other mills had just standard board, And we used to say we are producing this varnishable board. On our size press, we used to do special coating and get that varnishable property. And we had limited capacity. We didn't have extra capacity. So we were regularly raising prices, improving our profits, investing that money in finance company, etc., etc. So that was our cheese, Our board, our paper board, which we were producing, limited capacity. No need to go to more customers, just increase the price. Some customers will fly by the wayside. Those who want our board will pay more price for it. Our profitability will go up. And then suddenly one day, the cheese got moved. Because one piddly little company of Bombay called Balakrishna installed coating on their machine. So they came out with coated board, chromo board, whatever they used to call.
Yeah, they used to make
And
good.
then NR Agarwal followed very quickly. And we had relatively big machine and much higher capital expenditure required. So we kept producing and we still had enough market. Not that our order book was going down or something like that. But over a period we found where we used to command 10 to 15% premium for our board, it came down to par. And then there was a short period when Balakrishna board was being sold at a price higher than that of Bhadrachalam board. Naak kat gayi hamari. And then of course we finally took the decision to go ahead with coated board. And you know how we tried to solve the problem by offline coating. Can you believe competing with Balakrishna, who already have a very, very tight cost control and things like that? We wanted to compete by offline coated board. Some of our best talent the company had, you know, the scurries of the world, were put on to producing offline coated board to compete with them. 6 rupees higher price than Balakrishna board per kilo we had to charge to make small profit on that. But we wanted to say we can also make coated board. So that was very clear example of who moved my cheese. And we were to be self-critical, we were actually hemmed as an organization, not as one or two individuals, you know, as an organization. Of course, when the realization dawned, we did big things like big companies. We also did big things. PM4 came and then PM1 was rebuilt and we became masters of coated board. But in the meantime, the company went through enormous stress. As I mentioned earlier, also, you know, the losses which we produce and so on and so forth. So to my mind, that's a very classic example of who moved my cheese. Mr. Ashok Mansaria of Balakrishna moved our cheese, you know. We were lucky we could retrieve it back. And so I thought I'll give that as an example of even large companies, very successful and very clear. Even the story mentions that, you know, when you're very successful, what has given you that success becomes your cheese. You know? You don't want to move away from it. You don't want to do anything differently. You know? And then subsequently, of course, since it's it's a book on change management, I would call it. So every time we introduce a new, we were very good with technology, install a new machine, get best productivity from it and all that. But different behavior of the people, of the entire rank and file of the company, we had not learned how to do that, you know. So the beginning happened in safety, area of safety. Then of course came TQM, then ERP, many change management projects that we went through. That time we really had, we had the hems and haws and we had the sniffs and scurries. Absolute example, we can really write a book telling the BPL story instead of the story of these two little mice and two little men, you know. And finally, you know, with the effort of all the people and leadership provided by many people, some of them are on this panel, we have become successful. But it's a continuous journey. I mean, going forward also, same thing is valid. If we are not alert what's going on around the world, we can again, you know, get into problems. So now we have learned that. Now because we have learned that we're always keeping our eyes and ears and antenna active to find out what changes are happening and who can move my cheese. So that's what I wanted to contribute to Tulsi's great effort. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think most of us are, some of us are beyond 60, some of us are, you know, almost, some are in middle age. And if this lesson we don't know now, then I don't know what we know. So, and thank you so much, sir. It's so wonderful to revisit such things on and off. And Mr. Tulsi put it so beautifully. I would request Mr. Dar to kindly give us his opinion.
Very difficult to summarize after what Pradeep has said. First, the presentation was brilliant, and with the usual gusto, Tulsi, you not lost any of it. So nice to see you still so positive and optimistic, and after many years of work, and then of course you had a lot of academic achievement also, masters in Telugu. I mean, you've done things which I thought were not possible. So thanks for that. And Pradeep, of course, highlighted this very well as to the kind of change which we all saw happening by reacting late. There's nothing much more for me to add. Only thing is that maybe sometimes you should move the cheese for the whole world. Right now, for instance, talking back to the paper business, I've been telling guys in my favorite thing also, there is a great opportunity because we are in packaging, we are in materials, in around that whole theme of packaging. There's a great opportunity because one of the most important materials is under a lot of stress because it's neither renewable nor recyclable, or it's very, very difficult to recycle. Now, what do we do? What do we invest in R&D? So that we emerge to be the victors, because there is no victor right now. Nobody is on a different keel at the moment. Everybody is struggling to face the future. So can we, rather than say, okay, I'll develop a better mousetrap, which we'll do in any case, can we therefore redesign the whole system so that the whole globe can be our playground? And that is really, can we therefore combine the strengths we have with the strengths of plastics by using something more renewable and recyclable to be able to develop or give to our customers things that they really are looking forward to. So when I say we are all equal, is that nobody has really done too much in this area, and we can do it. So therefore, a great opportunity for us to move the cheese. We take that on. So that's the only thing I wanted to add. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, it's your platform,
Christine?
sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Christine,
Yes, sir.
I would like to respond to Chitu.
Yes, please, sir. You respond first, sir. Then I'll respond. Yeah, this is your platform today.
Chitu,
Yeah.
no. Something interesting. Biodegradable. All of us, at least in our day-to-day, we separate food waste from other waste because the food waste can be recycled. But food waste is again thrown into plastics. I was surprised in Amazon, I came across a recyclable waste basket. It's not a basket, it's a bag. You put food into that, along with food, even that can be recycled. Somebody thought of it. It is slightly more expensive than plastic, but it is worth its while. I have purchased from Amazon, we are using it. I somehow believe the thought process is now happening in the minds of millions of people. Earlier, few people were thinking. Today, many are thinking. That awareness has somehow come about. So I do believe change will come, perhaps in our own lifetime. Let us hope so. Thank you. Good thought. Good thought.
Thank you very much, sir. May I request Mr. Sanjay Singh to kindly give his opinion, please?
I'm traveling, so I don't know my sound quality, good or bad, but yeah.
It's
It's
good,
quite
sir.
okay, Sanjay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just 2-3 things. Taking about Pradeep said about being closer to home. A lot of things PSPD did was to create the leadership and still continuing. And the biggest cheese that we have moved recently has been our BCDMP plant. Nobody in India thought that somebody can produce BCDMP pulp with our own homegrown wood. And we have done that. And now the whole industry is thinking and saying what I want to make this and the rupee will keep depreciating the way the Indian economy is to still continue for some more years till we become a world-class economy. So the differential advantage of our own cost versus imported pulp will continue. So when the times are good, the prices are high, we got a huge advantage. And in Corona time, when the difficult time is there, prices of final product is there, because of a low cost of pulp, we are still continuing to get the benefit. So that's one example of how we as the leader have moved the cheese. And secondly, on the lighter side, Tulsi, you haven't changed a bit here. I remembered our production meeting in those days when you used to say coal, and still the language of instead of coal now it has become cheese, So that was very interesting too. The tone of your thing, besides the presentation being excellent, but your basic, and in fact I joined this today to see has Tulsi changed substantially or not changed a bit, but just on the lighter side, you continue to be the same good speaker.
Yeah, nobody can move his cheese.
Yeah. That's it. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, thank you very much for that lighter note this Sunday morning. Yes, we have enjoyed Mr. Tulsi's oration. Mr. Evira, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I came halfway actually because I had some homework, housework.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And I have no maid at home, actually, frankly. So 2 to
So
3
your
hours
cheese-
of work in
your-
the morning.
Your cheese
has
got
been
moved. Your cheese
yeah,
got
yeah.
moved.
Yeah. I like the way Chittu said, don't wait for someone to move the cheese, and you start looking at how do I change move the cheese. Actually, that's one thing. And the second thing is, one is moving the cheese for the organization. The other thing is moving cheese for yourself, your career. See, for all these young guys, you should start looking at how do I choose and move my cheese every day. If I get an opportunity to give a new responsibility. I know so many people in Bhadrachalam itself, they've been offered new responsibilities. They didn't want to move their cheeses, So they said, no, we are comfortable. We don't want to go there and all that. It really, actually casted them in the long term. People who have moved the cheese, even in Bhadrachalam career-wise also, they moved very fast. That's one thing I wanted to tell the young people. That's the second thing is one example what Mr. In life, you get opportunities. You have to look at it. Kodak story, the digital photography, who has invented? An engineer in Kodak himself has invented the digital photography, and he proposed the project to CEO. CEO shot it down, saying that you want to cut your own tree. The project was shelved in Kodak itself, the digital photography. And if you don't move your cheese, someone else will move cheese. So that is one lesson you should see is you don't wait for someone to move the cheese. You have to move the cheese yourself. That's one. And then, like Sanjay said, BCTMP is a great thing. People are worried. We went to, in fact, 4 years back, we started the project itself. We started doing that exercise. Myself and Nagari went to China, looked at BCTMP plants in China, where hardwood is being used. All of them, we did a lot of exercise, but it took us 4 years to come to the project stage, actually. It's really changed. So a lot of things are there in Bhadrachalam. If you really, like Pradeep said, if you really take one item as a chapter, it will create a very good book for the future generations to learn, actually. The personal careers, in fact, the SAP is one thing which has really changed. The whole organization has changed. ERP and TPM, and we started with 5 years and all that small way. It's not that it's not that only new guys have done. I remember CS Rao used to say that improve. he used to have a magazine called Improve In-House magazine from his desk when he was a spare part manager. So every day he says that improve. His magazine title is Improve. So he used to come out with new ideas every day for the maintenance guys. He was in maintenance. Don't think that in maintenance there is nothing to change and all that. Only disruption happens, only big things and all that. Don't have to worry about it. Whatever career you are doing, wherever you are, there is always a change. In fact, last 6 months, I have changed in my house so many things. A lot of developments, a lot of things, the way we operate things. I put a clothes dryer, put a fan for clothes drying because it starts to dry faster, and I don't want it to wait for it to be the next day and all that. A lot of things I did myself. See, it's an inbuilt thing. You have to create that in yourself, say that I have to improve my today to better than yesterday. So if that mindset is there, it will come. Disruptive change and all that, for organization, we keep doing it, But improve every day is very important. If you don't improve, you will lag behind. So that's one thing which I learned, and I hope that I will still continue to do it. And I started doing exercise also now after yoga's inspiration. Yeah. Last 2 months I've been doing it. I think it's showing some good results also. I'm able to do my homework without any stress because of this exercise, actually, the daily exercise. It's a good thing. Krishna, thanks. And Mrs. Tulsi, always, is a great orator. Definitely, the best things come out of him. Even whatever you give him, that he will present it in a great way, whether in board presentations or with us. So it's great. And thanks, Mr. Tulsi. And he was my first boss in Bhadrachalam when he joined in utilities. So we had changed a lot of things in utilities also there. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Tulsi.
On that note, Avi, you mentioned board presentation and all. One of our, I think one of the earliest vision workshops, Krishna Palepu and all, we were given some case study, and after that we were supposed to make presentation and all, So I asked Tulsi to make a presentation. After Tulsi's presentation over, all other divisions came to me, "Arey, तुमने तो एकदम सचिन तेंदुलकर भेज दिया यार, अब हम क्या बोलेंगे इसके बाद में?"
Right? Yes. Any topic, he makes it so interesting. That's one thing.
Because
it's a dramatic.
Generally the head of marketing or CEO or head of engineering, technology, those guys were presenting. HR guy presenting was the first time. HR guy presenting,
No, that's
Sachin
one of
Tendulkar ko bhej diya.
No, Pradeep,
Tulsi,
that's one of the good things about leadership also, Pradeep.
I know. I didn't want to present. Frankly, I didn't want to present.
Okay.
Anyway, Christine,
Mr.
over to
Tulsi,
you.
unmute yourself, sir, and comment whenever you want. Please keep yourself unmuted. Mr. A.V. Rao, thank you very much. That was so inspiring. I'm realizing that, Bhadrachalam, PSPD, ITC is so ingrained that whatever examples also are given, it's all about the company. It's all about, so it's
People.
very heartening. Thank you so much. And Dr. Barla, please give us your opinion, please.
Yeah, thank you, Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First of all, thanks to Tulsi Garu for this wonderful presentation. He made an extraordinary presentation out of a very ordinary story. The story is known to all of us from childhood. From the three fishes story that we have in Panchatantra, we have this story in different forms. But a beautiful way of presentation has made this. He added beauty to the story itself by virtue of his extraordinary presentation skills. That is complimentable, and it's a wonderful thing for all of us to learn how to make great presentations. That is one. The second is regarding change. Of course, I have my life itself is an example of a big change from an utter rural atmosphere to what it is today. I have experienced quite a lot of change, and I have changed companies also. I was in ITC BPL, then APPM, then Balarpur Industries, then Kenya, and of course, finally into education and research. So I moved my own cheese, in other words, instead of somebody else moving my cheese. The lesson that I come across in all these changes that I've been through, and there's an important lesson for managers and leaders I consider, is, as all of us know, that people resist change. What we read in HR management, resistance to change. Every human being, the more aged, more resistant is for change. So therefore, how do you deal with people when they are resisting change? There are three important ways of how I have implemented change to the people around. Number one, people resist change because they are comfortable with the old order. They're comfortable with what they know. Their comfort zone they want to preserve. So therefore, they would like to resist change. Now, as a manager, your job is to allay their fears, explain the advantages of the change. When we used to send Tetra Pak samples, when we used to send gypsum board samples to Mr. D.V. Raj Garu and NVH Namasivai Garu, their first reaction is that ये नहीं बनेगा, इसमें cost viability नहीं है, NSR नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, ये नहीं बनेगा. Those initial days, I recall, but how we have overcome those fears is by sitting with them, discussing with them, explaining them the future, the benefits of future, and how the NSR can be better in this particular product over a period of time instead of the old products, how they can make. So these kind of discussions have helped them to overcome their fear of change, the fear of unknown. And finally, we used to take product development trials. I used to take customers to the paper machine. We used to stand in the paper machine all through, and then somehow get it up, they further follow up and so on. As they saw the benefits of change, they themselves would used to come across and Tetra Pak का कुछ order मिलेगा क्या? Gypsum board का कुछ order मिलेगा क्या? अच्छा, ये design है, we'll be able to make better. So people who were resisting initially started becoming advocates of change. This was possible because you were able to sit with them, discuss with them, explain them the benefits of change. That's how the change has been possible. And the same, as I was doing marketing in industries, later on in the Pan-African paper mills also, the production people used to resist change. I used to, because markets are different. They are not exposed to markets so much as we are exposed to markets. So we are the change agents. So we used to bring the customers, we used to bring the samples and everything, explain with them, and slowly the production people behave the marketing way, and that's how the development was possible. So the moral of the story that I wish to say is that as a leader, it is your job to recognize the difficulties of your subordinates and explain them the benefits, clear their doubts, train them. When Indian Railways went in for online reservation, it's a nationwide hartal. ये लुट जाएंगे, मर जाएंगे, कुछ नहीं होगा, ये कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. There was a nationwide hartal in Indian Railways. But then the training programs Indian Railways conducted, people slowly realized, and today the operating person on the counter does it so conveniently, so fast. If you go into the reservation counter, you will know it's so fast. They will do it, and they like it and they love it ultimately. That's how change is loved. And finally, I would like to just conclude with one more point, that the change we are talking is, one is of course day-to-day changes that we don't have so much fear about it. We adopt those changes. But the change that Tulsi Garu is talking about is a paradigm change. In our life, in our organization, as we go along, the things are normal, everyday changes you are making, no problem, life goes on. But there'll be some paradigm changes, like the corona change, the COVID-19 change that we are finding from old order to the new order. Life has become so suddenly different. So what this book is talking about is recognizing the paradigm shifts that happen in your business and in your life, foresee and proact. Then you will be the winner. If you don't foresee, if you don't proact, what will happen is you become a hog. You ultimately die. In those three fishes, one category of fishes waited until the water drained off the lake, so they had to die. But the fishes which have forecast the drainage of water had gone out to the place and they lived well and they went off. So it's all about recognizing change, anticipating change, as Tulsi Garu rightly mentioned. And this is a great book. Thank you, sir, for bringing this to us. Wonderful, and there's a lot of learning in this. Thank you very much. Over to you, Krishna. I'm done. Over.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, being proactive and accepting change in the subordinate level and all, so relevant, because I remember when we used to write T's in a book manually, and that was very comfortable for us. And when ERP system came in, SAP came in, we all used to, get very, very perturbed. What is this new system? Yeah, this absolutely, it's not required, and really we were disturbed, and it's very true that with age, as you grow older, you resist change. And so it was so very great example for me is when the ERP system came out, and when really we started accepting it and adopting it, we found that it is so convenient and so comfortable. And I mean, it had all the records on. You didn't need to store your book carefully. So it was very beautiful, and we thank Mr. Evira for that wonderful change that we had in the system. It really made things very comfortable and systematic, and I must say a big change, which then we started accepting. But initially, yes, all of us resisted it, and the younger ones accepted it much faster than us older ones out there. So it is very true that with age you don't want to change. So thank you so much, Dr. Barla. And now the platform is open for you all to please unmute yourself one by one and share your views. Thank you, Mr. Tulsi. Yes, Shiva, do you want to talk? Please
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
just wanted to.
Good
please,
morning.
Please, yeah. Good morning and respects to all the leaders. And as the talk was going on, I found time to pull out my copy of Who Moved My Cheese. And I'm sure now when I read it, the perspective will be, I'm sure, a lot more different and improved. Thank you, Tulsi Garu. And one thing which I would also like to add is, sometimes this who moved my cheese or change is also applicable to relationships. Many a time we take relationships granted and we take people for granted. So while all the examples were of the big ticket, like at a company level or at a cultural level, but I'm sure at a one-to-one level also, the more we take for granted and not notice mutual expectations and change accordingly, there could be issues in that front. So I think this is applicable in each and every facet, starting from an individual relationship to as big as a company's future, so to say. Once again, thank you, sir, for bringing out such a great presentation. I will try to move my cheese and move forward. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Shiva.
Shiva, we are moving your cheese now already. From making comments after the presentation is over, we are looking forward to your presentation soon.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Good.
Mr. Prakash Patel, would you like to?
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Christina. What I would like to say that maybe the change was built into my life itself. I lost my mother at the age of 4.5 years, and my father was a judge. So at times I was required to stay with my relatives. Different places, there is no one whom I can say mine, not even my elder brother, because he was staying at some other place, my father at some other place. Mother is either not there, or when she was there, she was not well. And my father had transfers every 1 to 1.5 years to 2 years, maximum 2.5 years. So in my school life of 11 years, I have changed 9 schools. And from one corner of the Maharashtra to another corner. From Marathwada to Vidarbha, Vidarbha to Konkan, Konkan to Pune. So entire length and breadth of Maharashtra I had seen. And then when after graduation, my first job was in an entirely new territory, Durgapur Steel Plant. So whole atmosphere is different. I spent 10 years there. And the break came that my cheese was to be moved because I was in a blast furnace mechanical maintenance. I was amongst 3,000 mechanical engineers in steel plant. That time the strength of Durgapur steel plant was 35,000 people roughly. And I was one amongst the 3,000 mechanical engineers, and a job came for a safety engineer for our 220 megawatt captive power plant. And I had a great boss. I still remember Mr. Rao, Chalapati Rao. He used to always tell me that whenever there is an advertisement in the newspaper or within the implant, you must apply. And you must appear for the interview. So you study and there is a change in your life. If you are called, take your entire family. It is an outing for them. So utilize your whatever small things as a change for you, your wife and your children. So knowing that this is an entirely new thing, because in 1978, for the first time, the Factory Act said that you should have a safety officer. And most of the people in the safety field that time were either commerce graduate or arts graduate, okay, or welfare officers. And it so happened that amongst the number of people, I got selected. It was a shock to me. And then I had discussed with my boss, shall I change? Because what is the future for me? And he had a great insight. Mr. Chalapati Rao, my boss, said, look, Prakash, there may be 3,000 managers here, engineering graduates, but no safety engineer with an engineering degree and 6 years hard experience on the field. So you have an advantage. And one of the great things why I got selected, because whenever I talked about engineering. I never talked about from the welfare point of view or human suffering point of view. I always said, if it meets the norms, it is safe, other is unsafe. So there was no question of any argument. And luckily, after having an experience of 4 years in steel plant, I moved to a industry, Hindustan Antibiotics. Imagine what is the relation between a steel plant, I was a blast furnace mechanical man, to a pharmaceutical company manufacturing entirely different product. But again, my boss, Chalapati Rao, used to always say, the company can give you experience. Company may not give you money, but it will give experience. Go and extract it as much as possible. That is like a gold you are taking out from the earth, like it is a liquid gold. And then there was no looking back from one pharmaceutical to another pharmaceutical, that is Warner Hindustan, which later on became Park Davis. And wherever I had gone, I had changed the way I used to work. In Warner Hindustan, I said, I want to take photographs. It's an American company. No one is allowed to bring even camera. I said, your camera or my camera, I will give film to you. I want to take photographs and bring the shop floor to the senior management. Though you are all going, what I am seeing is not seen by you. And with a great difficulty, I was able to convince the top management. I was the first safety manager for Warner Hindustan. I analyzed the data of last roughly about 20 years and saw which were the serious accidents or the accidents which have been reported to the factory inspector and be again happening. And I made about 80 slides out of that and made a presentation to the management, top management. Only the about 6 people were there because the American company need to know. No one will be even shared information unless that person is directly connected. And then when they saw the presentation, they were off. They said, I mean, you are showing us something which we cannot deny, and you will now not show this presentation unless we take the concrete actions on that. So from there, I moved to the ITC, and there again, thanks to Mr. Chug, again, our wavelength match, whatever conforms to the norms and standards is safe, rest unsafe. There is no discussion. And the great foresight of Mr. Chug, I will say, a marriage party in his home or some party, come and audit. There is in Tolly Club, there is a made for each other contest. Go there before the function, earlier, go do the audit, get things done. So, I mean, no one thought, you are always thinking that safety is for the units. But he made it, and it was visible to people that the safety, whether it is of your residence or your outside function, wherever ITC is involved, is a must. And that is how he brought in the concept of any project will not be taken into operation unless it is cleared by safety. So I always remember him because that brought out a change. Another small change we did, normally the safety presentation will be maybe at the end or somewhere in the middle. But we said that whatever is the presentation, whatever is the meeting, it will start with a safety message. So I remember Mr. Vishy also, he has a marketing conference or meet, someone outsider has come and he wants to give presentation. Still Vishy used to say, Prakash, wo logon se hoga nahi, aap aake kuch message de do. And that changed the whole concept. So we have to anticipate the change. We have to be ready for the change. And if you are not doing it, I think every individual, each one of us has come across change as a boy, as a kid, as a school going person, as a college going person, when you get your first employment, when you get married, your first child, second child, their education. So if you look at your own complete life history, you have come across various changes and you have successfully managed it. There is nothing new, but beautifully it has been presented in the book, Who Moved My Cheese, and excellently explained by Mr. Tulsi. I really appreciate that. And that is all what I want to submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Madam,
Can
small time check, 12 o'clock.
Yes, yes. Those who want to unmute, please unmute. I mean, those who would like to speak, please unmute. And I think we can go a little faster. We needed to close at 12. I think we are not doing a good time management. So Please go ahead one by one, unmute yourselves and start speaking.
Vote of thanks. Yes.
So I'm going ahead with the vote of thanks, everybody. I would request Surya to kindly do the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Krishna Madam. First of all, we thank Tulsi Garu for coming forward and giving this advice. And this is more suitable to us. I believe 4 or 5 friends we are here. Shiva, Jagan, Shrevant Ram, Vasudev, Sunil, Dinesh, I could see. It is more applicable to us. And thank you very much for your time. And we will see that your effort will not go waste.
Suri, we want to
Thank
also
you very
change.
much,
Keep changing. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's applicable to us also. don't exclude us. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm saying it is more applicable to us, sir, now because thank you very much, sir. And thanks to Pradeep sir, Chitranjandar sir, Sanjay sir, Evi sir, Prakash sir for giving your inputs, especially concluded remarks by Pradeep sir. We always look forward. And I must also thank Jagan for offering us this uninterrupted Zoom session. Thank you, Jagan. Your help will be very useful in all future sessions. We don't forget recording. Several times I had to hear many things because I forgot to record when it happened second time. So this will help me in avoiding that. Thank you, Jagan. And big thank you to Krishna Garu for keeping this show intact and taking a lot of responsibility from me and doing it much better than what I was doing earlier. Thank you very much. It looks very happy that you are taking it forward very well. Thank you all for joining. Thanks.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Surya.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Jagan.
Bye.
Thank you, sirs.
Have a nice Sunday.
Thank you and bye, sir.